What's up, VIP Winners? Okay, this is Lily Binglow, and guys, I'm coming to you right at the parking lot of a hospital. So you can imagine that tells you that a lot of things have not gone as planned. So I want to start by apologizing to everyone that I was hoping to meet this weekend, and I didn't get a chance to travel. My life literally took a turn and it literally turned just so many interesting events since last Sunday. I think that was the 21st or so. It's been a whirlwind. But, you know, as I was sitting in there and just thinking about it, my heart was just broken because I'm like, there's so much I wanted to talk about. To all of you guys that have put in the time, invested your time to be here, your resources to come and be a part of something so big. And I said, you know what? I think there's something I could share with you guys based on what's happening now. And that's about setbacks, right? Because every one of us who is sitting in this room right now, whether we like it or not, we're going to go through some kind of setback as we build, as we grow. It could be in your personal life, it could be in business, it could be whatever. And I figured, you know, it's great for us to plan, but it's also important for us to have the tool sets that we need when those problems come crashing. I'm talking about those issues that cause your heart to ache. You know, it's like your stomach, your heart, everything is falling apart. You can't breathe. As a business person, as a nonprofit founder, whoever you are, you always face some things that will literally rock your world. And so today, I want to talk about what you do when you face setbacks. I'm talking about those huge setbacks, like major setbacks. So as you build, there'll be things that are within your power. There are things that are not within your power. For example, someone who has a poultry and the chickens, they get some kind of illness and they all die. That's literally out of your control. There's nothing you can do at that point. If you've tried to protect them, but something came somehow. And there are other things that we are the ones that bring upon ourselves. Like when you take money from a client and you don't deliver, you know, and then they come at you with a lawsuit or something, right? So there's so many things that can happen in the life of a business person. But I figure this would be a great conversation for us. And I hope that someone takes something out of this with them. So the first thing I want you to do every time a major problem hits you, the best thing to do in order to bring it to the smallest form of itself, that problem, ask yourself this question: what's the worst that could happen? You hear me? What's the worst that could happen? Every time you get hit with a problem that is so big, the moment you say, what's the worst that could happen? It changes everything. You start to realize, look, this is not going to kill me. It's not going to kill my loved ones. It's either a money problem or a people thing, but it's something I can deal with. Now, if it's something that is health, then we'll leave it, you know, the doctors. But if they can't, then we trust God, right? But when you have that mindset of what's the worst that could happen, it completely takes a big problem and brings it to now something that's within your power. Because you start to realize this is not going to take me out. It's just a temporary setback. So once you understand the worst that could happen, you're like, you know what? Now I can deal with it. Okay, so the first question you always want to ask yourself when you're hit with an unexpected thing is, what's the worst that could happen? The second thing I want you to ask yourself is your why. Sometimes there are issues that would hit some business people and will completely push them out of business. So most of the time, it's because their why was not clearly defined. Hear me, you guys. Once your why is well defined, it doesn't matter what comes at you. You'll always be able to stand up and face it. Here's the catch. If your why is only money, then you have a big problem. Because if money is why you're in the business or whatever you're doing, I mean, well, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it for business, but I'm saying it shouldn't be your why, your only why. It should be part of it, but it should be a bigger why to all of that. If it doesn't have to do with impacting the lives of other people, then you're in real trouble. So once you ask yourself what's the worst that could happen, you realize, look, I'm not going to die, so I can face this. The second thing is your why. Why are you even doing what you're doing? Because if you realize your why is bigger than this problem, then you're going to come back and put your head together in order to get solutions. Third thing I want you to ask yourself now is, how did I even get here, right? Did you notice something? I didn't ask that question first, because there's a risk of asking that question and it thwarts the whole process. But when you've realized the problem is small, and then you've understood your why, when you go, how did I get here? Then it starts to make sense, because now you're asking yourself questions that are aligned with a bigger picture. How did I get here? Was it some error on my part? Was it an error on me trusting someone, or was it a failure on other people's part? But here's the deal. In order to grow as a business person, an entrepreneur, a leader, you must learn to take personal responsibility. That's why you assess, how did I get here? If it's something that I personally did that brought me to this point, or my business, or my organization, or my loved ones, then I need to take responsibility of the role that I played. So you need to make that assessment. If it was something that it had to do with you taking money for a service you couldn't provide, it means you were lacking in your skill sets. So you have to assess, do I have the skill sets to even deliver? Do I possess what is required? Maybe it's a money problem. Maybe someone who is coming at you for money that you owe them and you didn't pay. The next thing is, do I have those resources? That's why you assess what it is that's in your current situation, right? You're assessing, how did I get here? You're trying to understand, what resources do I have within my power? What skill sets do I possess within my power? Where am I lacking? What is it I did wrong that brought me to this point? As you're making this assessment, what it's doing is that it's allowing you to realize there are things you can do in the process. Because when you take personal responsibility, you do whatever it takes to resolve the issue. Then the last question you have to ask yourself is, what's the smallest thing or action I can take right now? So once you have realized that the problem is not going to kill you, which means you're still going to be standing, and you recognize your why, and you see that your why is so much bigger than this little problem, which is just a setback, and then you assess how you got here, you take responsibility, then you can say, what little step can I take to start? If I have to develop my skill sets, I will. If I have to make a phone call and apologize, I will. If I have to just go back to my team members and understand where we had a leak, or where I failed to deliver, or something, then you start from there. Maybe it's just a phone call. Maybe it's just there's material you need to read to understand something that you didn't understand before. Maybe you gave someone wrong information. It just means I'm going back to do the little that I can, right? What small action can I take to move this forward? Now, if all of this fails, when you take your action and you can, then I need you to seek counsel. The reason sometimes it's a bit tricky when it comes to seeking counsel too early is because if you have not done personal assessment, if you have not asked yourself all these questions and built a person that can face these kind of issues head front, if you go quickly to seek counsel, you might end up depending on counsel throughout this journey. But there has to be some level of introspection. There has to be some time when you sit and you go deep inside, you ask those questions, because at the end of the day, you are the one who gets to decide the outcome of your life. Now, when all these things have failed, then you seek counsel. Sometimes you might just have the wrong perspective of a problem, right? It's either the glass is half full or it's half empty. It's whoever you're talking to, right? And so you have some person who is looking at the glass going, oh my God, we don't have what it takes. We cannot take this contract. And you have the other person going, no, we can take this contract because it will help us level up, right? It will help us improve ourselves, and we can do it. So those are two different perspectives, and it's very important for you to seek counsel from people you can trust, people that you know would be able to guide you in the right way, and people that you know have your best interests at heart, right? Once you seek counsel and you realize that, there could be a better way to go about it, take action, take action, take action. And then the last thing I have to say is make sure you lean on your community. That's the beauty of being a part of something as amazing as the VIP Winnerz Community. You're part of something bigger than you. Look, nobody can do it by themselves. If anybody tells you I'm self-made, slap them. Let me tell you, there's nobody who can do it by themselves. You need a community. You need people that want to see you win. You need people that are willing to wake up in the middle of the night and take your phone call and go wherever you need them to go because your future is on the line. You need those kind of people, and you've been blessed to be a part of a community like this. And so make sure that this weekend you don't leave without finding your person. You know, you're in a community, but you need your person. Why am I saying you need your person? There'll be certain people that align with you in values. There'll be certain people that align with you in certain things. Maybe because you guys are parents. And so the challenges you would face as a parent is different from a single person who is running a business, right? But find someone that you know, hey, we all have the same goal of wanting to grow. We all want to win. We all want to make this happen. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'm so sorry again I couldn't be there, but I've seen some pictures on my WhatsApp and I'm blown away. I don't have much service while I'm here, but stay safe, you guys. Enjoy the rest of this. I'm rooting for all of you, and I already told my friend and my brother Galax that I'm going to make it up to you guys, so get ready for a surprise visit. I mean that. I really, really mean that. I love you all. Thank you so much for investing in yourself, in your future, because when you guys win, we all win. The entire community wins. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.